you do pick up a lot of difficult subjects in your dramas, and of course, I'm going to go back to Churels, and I'm going to go back to Qatil Hasina Ke Naam. Again, powerful women. You have a knack of picking up roles that portray very powerful women, and that must be a reflection. That is a reflection of you yourself as well. Television बहुत सालों से जिस तरह हम देखना चाहते थे हमने नहीं देखा आपको. Is that a conscious effort? वो roles नहीं मिल रहे? Have you distanced yourself because television पे एक खास किस्म की औरत दिखाई जाती है, और आखिरी 2 जो प्रोजेक्ट थे आपके बहुत बड़े वो दोनों डिजिटल के लिए थे, and of course great directors and great producers or really ground breaking content मैं तो कहूँगी दोनों का ही. But television से ज़रा सी दूरी खुद से हुई है, आपने सोचा कि मैंने करनी है, because you've done some really really strong characters on television as well.
Yes.
I mean Sita Bagri being one of the top ones that you can think of. But किए हैं आपने, but अब क्यों नहीं? Why don't we see Sarwat Gilani on television as frequently as we should?
I'll tell you, Amna, with time I got into speaking up on women's rights, against child abuse, against so many serious real life topics that I felt that I need to, if I'm talking about it, if I'm believing that's a certain thing that should be practiced in our society, I cannot go back to being the Mazloom se sakti vi aurat, because I just don't believe in that. I believe women are unbelievable in Pakistan, and there are such great examples of women that we need to tell those stories, those success stories, and not like have a premise of an entire season or serial of 26 episodes, whether the girl is good enough to be married to this guy and whether she's good enough to be accepted by the in-laws. Life is way beyond all of those things.
For women especially.
For women. And women are really breaking boundaries to get out of that stereotype. And I felt like television was holding me back in that regard. I did television for 20 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did play the Mazloom se sakti vi aurat.
You did.
But I felt like enough of that, and unfortunately, I mean, I did Khasara. That was my last television thing. And in Khasara, I played a very strong woman. And that is the kind of substance that I want to portray, that women are strong, women are great examples as leaders. But that doesn't happen every day. Those kind of scripts don't come, especially my way, because I have a lot of reservations and other reservations, like, there are different types of, there's different kinds of ways to show love. I will not get physical. I will keep a distance, because my ideal romantic dramas were Tanhaiyan and Dhoop Kinare, and we didn't need all of this, to show beautiful, unbelievable romance and class at the same time. So I was feeling like, I'm really putting myself in a box, and that box is not going to be tapped, because that's not the criteria of the Pakistani television right now. And that's okay, because I've had my time, and I want to progress and not regress. I want the youth to see unbelievable examples of women doing unbelievable work. And why are we... So initially, when a lot of stuff, when I was distancing myself, a lot of people would call me and give me an offer. And initially, I would say, मेरे पास dates नहीं है, just कि like यार मैं क्या इनको बोलूँ. But then I thought that they need to understand what we want to show as even artists, what we want to represent. So I would have like hour-long conversations with these directors and writers.
Sounds tedious.
Tedious, right? And they would, at the end of the day, they're like, अच्छा बट बताएं आप कर रही हैं या नहीं कर रही?
ये बताएं, bottom line क्या है?
And I'd be like, no man, I can't. I have to put my foot down for myself. I mean, if I'm not convinced that this girl is Mazloom and this is how her life is and it's miserable, and then how will I convince my audience? Because in my life right now, I'm not miserable, and I don't want to represent miserable. I want to represent powerhouses. I want to represent real life heroes, unsung heroes, survivors, right? So I felt like meri mera mission was not tallying with a lot of drama missions and their taglines and their concepts. So I got into public speaking, and I felt like I needed to motivate young girls.
Yeah.
And then I got into Special Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, because
what a great cause that is.
Yeah, and I felt, Amina, that I felt that I have so many eyes and ears, and they must see the better side of things that need attention. You know, so I got into SOP and I made a song for them. We didn't have a national anthem. When I got on board as an ambassador, I would research. So Canada has a national anthem.
Yeah.
US has a national anthem. And I Googled Pakistan national anthem for special people.
Nahin tha.
Nothing. So Faisal Kapadia is sort of relative to, is a relative to Ronak Lakhani. So I roped him in and I said, who better than you both, Bilal and Faisal? And so Bilal said, who's going to write this song? I said, who better than Anwar Saab, right? So that's how we started, and I got Umar and Beenish on board. We made that song. I know how I collected that that money, those 20 lakh rupees, and how difficult it is to collect money for special needs people.
We know how hard you've been trying to collect money for SOP, and
it's unbelievable. I would have never imagined that people give, which is great. People have this beautiful heart in Pakistan, and especially our people, Pakistani people who are living abroad. They would, in a split second, give money for healthcare and education. But it's unfortunate they don't think that special needs is a needful thing that they need to do. So that, and I really got into it, and I felt like that's where I'm getting soul from. That's where I'm getting, you know, life from. And I just, and there was no looking back, and I was so involved with SOP, and then I got into Indus Hospital, and I saw more of life and what needed to change on that platform. So I think, you know, playing the Mazloom Se Sakti Bhi Aurat did not work for me because I was doing real life.
And you could do more constructive work here as opposed to television. जहाँ पे चीजें बदल नहीं रही वैसे.
नहीं रही.
कभी-कभी बदलती हैं लेकिन बहुत कम. Very rarely. Very rarely.
And then Churels came up.
And then Churels came up. Absolutely.
Then, and so Asim, I got acquainted with Asim when they were doing cake. And I was meant to do cake, and I did my audition, and it went through, and then I got pregnant with my second baby. And Asim was just like devastated because 4 months down we had to start shooting.